In this section, let's have a look at other aspects which can affect your oxygen management. One of the paramount aspects is less manpower. If you don't have enough manpower to measure SpO2, if you don't have manpower which is trained properly, if you don't have enough manpower to go around the floor and properly set the LPM settings, and if you don't have enough manpower to help the patient is going to self-help himself. He is going to go and touch the oxygen knobs. If you really don't want patient to touch your oxygen knobs, then you should have proper manpower like ward boys, the nursing staff and the doctors have to be properly in the sufficient quantity to say that this lapse doesn't occur. Now besides this, there are a lot of ways you can lose oxygen. As I told you, cryogenic oxygen is stored at less than minus 183 degrees Celsius or much below it rather. So when you put it into the Dura cylinder, it has its insulation. You have some Dura cylinders in your hospital premises and you don't use them. What is going to happen to them? After 3 days, the oxygen inside is going to convert it into liquid to gaseous form. It's going to build up pressure. There is a safety valve and there will be a loud whistling and the oxygen will go away into the air. To avoid this, rotate your Dura cylinders. If they are kept as reserved, after 2 days increase the pressure, delivery pressure slightly above your oxygen pressure system so that your Duras take over, they are emptied and you have other Duras which will come and replace them, and this Duras going out, phasing out. And this way you will stop wastage of the liquid oxygen. Also, if you are going to treat very low number of patients and if you have LMO stored in your LMO vessel, liquid medical oxygen plant, and there is a large quantity of LMO, slowly over the time the pressure builds up into the vessel and oxygen in the gaseous form will whistle out from the safety valve. It will slowly be released into the atmosphere and you will keep on losing the oxygen. Third way to lose oxygen is jumbo cylinders. Even the jumbo cylinders, although slowly and lesser than the Dura cylinders and the high pressure LMO plants, definitely there is a leakage from the jumbo cylinders too. It may take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months depending on the quality of the valves, but surely over the time they will lose the pressure. So ensure that you just don't store the jumbo cylinders or don't just put them into reserve. Rotate your jumbo cylinders. Tag them. Put their last filling date. Don't assume all of them are going to be always filled. Make a practice of getting them checked with the gauge and having the records straightened, and if any cylinder has lost oxygen, to get it refilled. This is very important because in emergency situation you depend upon some oxygen cylinders and they are not there. Even if you are putting some excess jumbo cylinders on the floor for emergency management of the patient, be very much sure that they are rotated and they are filled. Put labels, store them in a cool, dry place, keep them away from the corrosion. Use very good quality of spanners, otherwise your valves will go bad. Don't hammer your oxygen cylinder valves. Whenever you are constructing a shed for Dura, use fire retardant material. Use bison, cover, have a proper shade, ventilated, but above there has to be shade. Use bison or such material below the shade, below the what we can say, the tin sheets or the plastic. I'll avoid plastic, but tin sheets, put a bison below so that the temperature doesn't directly affect your Dura and the gas will slowly whistle out of Dura, or it will not whistle out and be there till it is used. So this is very important precaution, how you store your oxygen in Dura and jumbo cylinders. As far as your LMOs are concerned, use proper PRVs. see that the pressure is gradually stepped down. Get a good biomedical engineer or your installer to certify and design the system as per the standards. This will assure that your oxygen is properly delivered. Frequently check out for leakages. See that everywhere the walls are of good condition. Standard walls are used. No bends are leaking. Get the pipeline audited. This is very, very important so that we don't lose oxygen. And oxygen is conserved as a resource. Also, avoid usage of HFNO. Try to replace HFNOs by BiPAP. HFNOs tend to make a patient's lungs lazy. Obviously, there are many hospitals which do not have resources and will keep on continuing HFNO usage. But recommendation is slowly phase out these HFNOs. Get other equipments and conserve oxygen. HFNOs are big guzzlers. They will not have the same impact that NIV has on the patient. Also, at the right time, you should know when to intubate the patient, when the NIV is not working. Set up these parameters as a part of the oxygen winning protocol in your hospital. All these precautions, hand in hand, definitely will help you to save around 30%, 40% of your oxygen if your hospital is currently not using the oxygen winning protocol. And that's a big saving. That's a big resource, and it's giving back to the nation something valuable which is in short. And the shortage is such that PM himself has looked, the Prime Minister himself has looked into this oxygen shortage. Thank you.